Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from PocketNow.com, and this is the software tour of the new HTC Touch Diamond 2. Now there are a lot of things to talk about in terms of software changes. We're going to talk about everything thoroughly in the upcoming review on PocketNow.com, but for now we're just going to take you through the most major changes to the new interface. This is a new version of TouchFlow 3D, and there are many changes to talk about. So let's turn on the device and get closer to the screen. So everything looks really fantastic on this WVGA screen, so that's 800 pixels down and 480 across. It's the same resolution as the Touch HD, and it's in a smaller area, so actually the screen looks a little bit more crisp on the Diamond 2 than it does on the Touch HD. So let's start off with the time. If you tap on the time, you're taken into this nice little interface. You can add a city to have multiple places with the time. And we can also go to the next tab here with alarm clock. And this device has a really robust alarm clock application. It's kind of like the iPhone. So if we tap on any of these, we can have an alarm only for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at, 6 a.m. Just a really elegant interface here for setting the alarm. And let's go back. Something else that's changed is the notification area. So if I tap up here at the top, we have a notification area, and if you have a new email or new SMS or missed call, it'll all show up here. And then we can go into the Wi-Fi screen right from here, which is much different. It's much more elegant now. I can see that I'm connected to GM123. There's a green check, shows the signal strength of all of the networks. And of course you can flick your finger up to see your next appointments, and there are none coming up here. If we go to the next tab, and I've rearranged these a little bit to suit my needs, we have a few options here. We can customize the tabs, of course, by moving them around, and this isn't anything new. We've seen this on previous versions of TouchFlow 3D. We can edit our contact card. I'll talk a little bit about that later. And change your wallpaper, your ringtones, or we can jump into all settings, which is the usual Windows mobile interface that you're accustomed to. The next one's email, and you've seen this before. This is present in all TouchFlow 3D versions. I'm going to skip the next tab, and I'll come back to it. Here we have SMS. And the next tab is something I definitely want to talk about, Push Internet. This is new for the Diamond 2 and the Touch Pro 2. Push Internet will preload pages based on a set schedule, so that, let's say, every day at 12 o'clock you check your email. And so you can set this so that every day at 12 o'clock it will check your email. So right now I have PocketNow.com preloaded, so if I tap on this, watch how fast it comes up. There. It's almost instant because it's preloaded. It says last update 58 minutes ago. While I'm in this screen, I'm going to talk about the zoom slider. So there is a capacitive zoom slider here, which allows you to zoom in on the page if you slide your finger. The zoom action is pretty smooth, but one of the biggest problems is that it's imprecise. So if you double tap anywhere on the screen, you can choose exactly where you want to zoom in, right? It's like that in all versions of Opera Mobile. But what if you want to zoom in right on the center, right here, on the center of the screen? Well, if you use the zoom slider, it's going to zoom over to the left. It's quite random, and you'd think intuitively what would happen is you tap an area on the screen, then zoom in, and then the zoom would go to that area, but that's not the case. So I'm not sure about the utility of the zoom slider. It would be nice if you could customize how it functioned. So let's get out of that. Let me just take you through how you add a new push page. So I'm going to tap Add a New Push Page, and let's do the address. Let's do Amazon.com. And it wants a title, so Amazon. Okay, and frequency of updating, you can have every 6 hours. Whoop, let me go back there. Every 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, or 24 hours. So I'm going to set that to 6 hours and save. And you can also set whether this happens on the weekends, because maybe you don't want to see a certain web page on the weekend. So you go down to Menu, and you go to Schedule Settings. And here we can determine when this actually occurs. So you may not want it to pull down the web page when you're sleeping if you don't want it to use the data on your phone or use the battery. Okay, moving along, we go to the Calendar tab, and this is kind of new for HTC devices. What's really neat about the Calendar tab is that it also integrates weather. So if I go to the 19th, it will show me that on the 19th it's going to be raining. If I go to the next day, Monday, it's going to be raining with 47 here in Philadelphia. And so on and so forth. It will go all the way out until Wednesday, because it's a 5-day forecast. And of course we can zoom out